So here's what you can try if you're taking a supplement and it's not helping you feel better. Maybe you've gotten a new supplement recently that has some kind of claim or has some kind of benefit that you're after, but you're not feeling that yet. Maybe it's not the supplement, maybe it's just how your body's processing it. I'm gonna give you the tips on how you can amplify that and get more for the money that you are spending on a supplement, trying to take something, inflammation, sleep, stress, hormones. How do you get the most out of that? Depending on what type of supplement you take, there's a lot of different approaches to this. So let's go through this from a perspective of it is not what you take, it's what you absorb. It's what you use, right? Because you could just have expensive urine if we really want to look at it from taking supplements and you're just passing them straight through. If it's not actually getting into your system, into your cells, or where it needs to be to have the effect, then you're not going to have the benefit. You're not going to feel better from it. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to discontinue from a nutrient that you may have desperately needed. So not all supplements are good. There's a quality issue. I do have other videos on that, but let's just walk through things you can try right now if you are not feeling better and you're taking a supplement. All right, let's go. So number one, let's just look right to absorption. You're not what you take, you're what you absorb. A lot of these supplements have to hit the stomach, survive the acid, or begin to be absorbed right here. And what you combine them with, or the acid that it hits, or the enzymes that it hits, depends a lot on how the supplement's going to get used. Example, minerals need a lot of stomach acid in order to extract them to activate them. Fat-soluble vitamins need fat in order to activate them. Water-soluble needs fluid to activate them. So here's some tricks of what I would try. Apple cider vinegar would be my number one tip to increase the acidity in the stomach so you can properly process, especially for vitamins and minerals. This is very important for breaking down proteins if you're using a protein powder so that your body can unravel the protein, use the amino acids, which are the building blocks of your cells, to break down fat. That process begins just a touch in the stomach, and then it's very important in the small intestine. So try adding in apple cider vinegar before your meals. Take a capful, or you could try taking a couple tablespoons once or twice a day. It's going to help greatly if you are dealing with digestive distress. Now, if you have an ulcer, then you may not do this. If you have a gastritis condition where there's an inflammation of it, this can actually irritate that. So those would be the scenarios that I wouldn't advise apple cider vinegar, but I would try that for better absorption of these vitamins and these minerals and the nutrients you're putting in. The second one would be helping the gut bacteria. You can do this by fermented food. My favorite one is sauerkraut. The juice of sauerkraut has 25 plus billion probiotics in it. The kraut itself has a decent amount. So putting those in, you could also go for kombucha. You could also go for a little bit with apple cider vinegar. Any fermented food is going to get you some advantageous bacteria. Now, why this matters is because it's actually going to release postbiotics, which is the excretion of a probiotic, and that's actually going to help your body absorb nutrients, fend off other bacteria that may be inhibiting your body's ability to absorb the nutrients in the first place. This is especially important when you move into the small intestine, breaking down of fats, combating inflammation, all which can destroy your body's ability to absorb the nutrients that you are taking. So add some fermented foods. The only reason I wouldn't do that is if you do have a condition of SIBO and there is a lot of gas and bloating, that might actually make you bloat a little bit more. So I would stick with apple cider vinegar in that case. The final one is fat. Vitamin A, D, E, K1, and K2 all rely on fat itself to get absorbed. There's also a lot of phytochemicals and phytonutrients that our body puts in that also need fat to get absorbed. So it's herbs, it's antioxidants, it's the vitamins. They oftentimes need fat to get into the system. So taking them with fat will help the absorption. So if you are struggling with your vitamin D levels, if you are struggling with your energy levels, if you are struggling with absorbing a certain nutrient, put some fat with it. The easy way to do this is take omegas with whatever other supplement you're using, or do a smoothie with coconut oil or coconut milk involved with it to get extra fat in. That's going to help that absorption into the stomach. So number one, you're not what you take, you're what you absorb. Now, other ways to optimize this, you might just need to clean out. There might just be other absorption competing with what you're trying to take in. So 2 quick ways to do that. Water's gonna help the absorption. It's fascinating to me how many people don't get enough water in and don't properly absorb water. So adding a little sea salt to the water, adding electrolyte powder to the water, or your apple cider vinegar. Putting a teaspoon or a tablespoon of that in here can help that absorption, getting your 8 glasses or half of your body weight in ounces a day of water. There's a lot of water-soluble vitamins, your B vitamins, your vitamin C, and a lot of other phytonutrients that rely on having enough liquid to move them around the body. So that's low-hanging fruit, but do that. Next, look at doing some juicing or juice cleansing. If you've never done this before, it's a fantastic way for your body to go into cleanup mode, to get the garbage that's laying around, swept up, recycle the things that are still able to be used, and really clean up the system to allow proper absorption to happen. So I love giving the digestive system a break from all the absorption from food it has to do by just doing a proper 3-day juice cleanse. Now, research shows if you can keep this green juice low carbohydrate, a low carb count, usually 10 grams or lower, if you can come in throughout a day below 200 or 100 on the carbohydrate count, you're going to be doing really good by just drinking juice to get your body into autophagy. Now, I have entire videos on this channel about autophagy. That's your cleanup mode. If you have never done a juice cleanse before, just 1 day would be fantastic to help the absorption for your supplements, let alone 3 days where you really get the max benefit. I put a video link below in the description here on how to do that to get you started, to do an actual juice cleanse with a guide to walk you through its anti-cancer effects, its immune boosting effects, but it's going to help you absorb your vitamins better and overall make you feel good. Next, let's move on to my favorite, which is rotational fasting, okay? We're going to put an RF here. If you have not tapped in to this beauty, I would highly recommend it. You're going to put your body into more of a digestive break mode. You're going to tap into fat burning mode. When you're tapping into fat burning mode, you're going to absorb a lot of these nutrients a lot better, especially those that are related and reliant on fat. You're going to eliminate a lot of the other waste, and you're going to give your body longer breaks of fasting from a heavy caloric intake, and those would be optimal times to absorb your supplements. So if you've never done this before, a very quick rundown would be half size your breakfast to get started. It's curbing your consumption down, normal lunch, normal dinner. Next up would be eating no breakfast, going for an extended breakfast. Break your fast at lunchtime and then eat dinner. Then finally, you could break your fast at lunchtime and then half size your dinner and work your way up to a full day of abstaining from food. A bit different from a full-on juice cleanse where you're specifically cleansing, specifically putting in nutrients that are going to flush out toxins from your body. This is allowing your digestive system to down-regulate, tap your body into fat-burning mode, help out the absorption of it. This really will surge your energy if done correctly. Give it time. If you need help with that, you can join one of our challenges or read one of my books to help you through rotational fasting. It helps you to not plateau, but there's a baseline for you. Finally, the fifth way to help you feel better and absorb nutrients is to lower your stress levels. Cortisol blocks the ability for food to be absorbed. It's anti-nutrients. It's going to increase your fat on your body. It's going to work against your metabolism. So there's a lot of reasons to get cortisol under control, your stress levels under control, and there's no better way to do it than paced breathing. This type of breathing is what's called nature's cigarette, and it can take 1 minute to do this. You can do it multiple times a day, and it really has a big impact on your body's digestive system, specifically controlled by the parasympathetic nervous system. That parasympathetic nervous system controls the digestion inside of your body, and the way to stimulate the digestion, which helps the absorption, which gets your supplements in, which gets you feeling better with less stress, is to do paced breathing. Now, if you've never done this before, I have an entire tutorial video, and I think it's a perfect next step as you're implementing these steps to absorb your nutrients and feel better. Controlling those stress levels are going to make you feel great, and I show it to you and how to do it in this video right here. Check it out.